Hello, 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 hello. Wherever you are on this enriching planet we humans call Earth, I hope you are having a splendid day, evening, or night, wherever you are located. I'm going to be talking about the timeline. And Blender, the timeline from my point of view is the stepchild. The timeline is the unloved wife. The timeline is the black sheep of the family. Get my point. People always, there's plenty of videos on YouTube about the graph editor. There's plenty videos on YouTube about the dope sheet. There's a few about the NLA editor and other one, but no one has ever taken the time to talk about what are the benefits of using the wonderful timeline. Alright, so let's start. I'm gonna give me a scene. I hope I can find me a good animation scene. I should have did this before I started. Okay, this is a good one right here. And like I always like to say, people, you all see I do have some animation skills. Every time I look at a YouTube video about Blender, they're always showing Harold the Cube or a plane. I don't know if them people really animators or not. But you see right here, at least I got some animation skills. It may not be high, it may not be all that, but I have modeling skills. But anyway, the timeline. Let me bring up my timeline. Now, you all probably know the time that you learn most is when you're involved in a project. I'm working on an animation. I had to repeat certain elements repeatedly over and over. I had to repeat them. So I was using some of those the timeline features. I'm going to go over the first feature I know on the timeline. It involves a subset of what you see on the timeline. I'm going to hit the letter P. I'm going to highlight a certain region. I'll go from 1 to 100. Now, on different versions of Blender, the middle part where my mouse had, that always stayed gray. Some versions of Blender, if you choose a different theme, it may be an orange color. On my other computers, it's an orange color, but here it's black. The beauty about this is, yes, I'm going to create my timeline. I'm going to create my keyframes of my little duck. It's starting position. Okay. Starting position. Location. I'm going to go to 100. Click on 100. Then I'm going to move him. Let's move him up some. Right there. So, wonderful. Now, here, where my mouse is at, my start frame is 0. And my end frame 102 yet, because I did that P key. So, the P, it does adjust your start and end frame. Okay, but that's a good thing. So I didn't have to type those numbers in by myself. I only hit the letter P and highlight it, and boom, that was it. So it should run from 0 to 102. Let's see if it does it. Let me start it again. See it move. Everyone knows that on the timeline. Now, before I get more about the P key, is one thing I discovered too. Have you ever been on the timeline and your dots? My dots, because of my theme, are blue. Yours may be the typical version. Blender color is yellow. Have you ever been doing an animation and your dots disappear? I'm going to give an example. It's right here. Your dots disappear. Where my dots go at? What you have to do, you have to click on the mouse button, whatever you have, because I have a trackball mouse. You have to click on that main button in the center, click, and then you have to either go up or down, and then you get back to the timeline element. See, that was happening because I kept doing those animations. I noticed that. So that's one thing you need to know. If your timeline elements seem to disappear, they're not. You have to go up or down and look for them. No one ever told me about that feature of the timeline. Now, here's the feature I love. Alright, I'm finished with that bird. I'm gonna hit P again. I'm going to hit P. And you're going to see what happened. P. I'm going to select another region. There's that region I selected. I'm going to choose this bird right here. I'm going to click on, I got to hit location. Oh, but it's in the wrong spot, so I have to Control Z. I have to hit my, start it at 100 right there. Save it for that location. Then I want to grab it and move it back some. Oops, I had to select my new spot right there. I just want to take this bird and move it back some. GY. Move it back. Oh, my little ducky. I hit I. Location. And boom, it's there. Now for my third ducky. My third ducky. I'm going to give him the region of 187. Hit P. 187. To right there. This is there. My third ducky. His starting position is there. Location. Then I want to move it. I want to make him go up. Z is up. Alright, so now save it. Location. Alright, so we play. Alright, so it's stuck right there. That's what I love about that P feature. It's stuck right there. Even if I make a mistake and click on another of my other ducks, it will not jump to those ducks. I wish it would. I wish it would do that, but hey, it don't. So that's the P function I discovered how powerful it is. It gives you constant updates. It's like it's segmenting that timeline. That's what the P does. So if you just need to work on a certain part of your animation, like I was, certain individual parts and different spots on a timeline, it's best to use that little segment thing. All you have to do is hit P and choose the range that you want. Now here's the feature that really helped me, that I discovered yesterday. No one ever told me about this. Now look at my timeline information. Before I used to keep hitting the scroll wheel on my mouse to go up and down to try to find back what my stuff. I used to try to hit that little control, the scroll bar, and try to hit the little control, do the mouse wheel over and over, but it's a faster way of doing it. I'm gonna make my range from. Oh, and also I forgot to tell you this. When you working in that segment mode, I'm gonna keep it running. When you're working in that segment mode, over here by the word start, on the timeline start, you will see a little clock-like figure. Don't get no name when I hover my mouse over it. On mine, it's blue. On yours, maybe yellow, orange, whatever. That is the clock for my segment. Now, I'm going to click off my clock and see what happens. I'm going to click on my clock and let's see what happened. It set the timeline back to its normal pace. See, that's beautiful. P will give me that segment region. I click on the clock, it gives me the little segment area. I'm gonna click on it again. Hold on. Right with my ducky. I clicked it again. Okay, so but it threw it back to its original location. So when you click back on that little clock, it will undo the P feature. It will set it back to 0. So keep that in mind. I never knew that, but I said because most people they never talk about the benefits of the regular timeline. Now here's the part that was really a help to me. I just was talking about it. I'm gonna make this 5,000. In the past, I used to take on my mouse that scroll wheel and just do that. You see what I'm doing? But I discovered it's a faster way of doing this. It's a fast way. Let me see if I can find My scroll bar dark on this version of Blender. If you click on your scroll bar and drag, I'm just dragging. You see what's happening. I'm not clicking the scroll. I'm not clicking that mouse wheel 100 times. I just found a scroll bar, one mouse press, and you just move the mouse over to the left or right. Now, when I move it to the left, you see the numbers getting larger, spaced out. I'm going to move it to the right. And you see it becoming more and more concise. Like I said, I'm not having to push that, right there to 5. Oh, but I have it on this mode. So it's really 5,000. But you got the point. You got the point. Where is it? Right here? I'm going to try to fit it on there. I just got my finger on one button only. Like I said, I'm not hitting that scroll wheel 1 trillion times. And look at that. It start with 0. Now with from 0 to 500, and you see what I did. So the timeline, it does have some good features to it. People, well, I'm going to try to learn some more benefits of the timeline and give the timeline some love. But I know the benefit of the timeline. The timeline helps you in case you want to do a quick animation. Boom, boom, boom. Fast. You set your keyframes, and then you go to the dope sheet. And then you may go to the graph editor about the timeline and give you a quick, fast keyframes. That's the benefit of it. But I said I gave us 2 features. Hitting that P key. Well, 3 features. Hitting the P key. It segment the timeline. It give you a little portion of it. You click on that little clock. It will throw you in that segment mode. Or and take you out of it. And the last one, at the bottom, you have the scroll bar. With the scroll bar, you can control, the span of the timeline numbers. Like I said, you don't have to keep messing with that the mouse scroll wheel over and over. Thank you for stopping by. Until the next time I make a video for my edification, and I hope for yours. Peace.